left side, I guess, and share this with somebody that you think. And also, this is going to be a nice short one, and I'm going to be able to put this on my YouTube channel. So, what to do when you're stuck? This is one of the most common questions that I get, and I'm going to just tell you right now, I get that constantly, where there's days where you wake up and you feel like you're on purpose and you know exactly what you're here to do. You just can't wait to get up out of bed in the morning. Thank you for the hearts. Just keep tapping away. And I look forward to answering some questions, leaving some time here to answer questions. If you're feeling stuck and you are not in a good place and you know that there's something better for you, I have great news for you. It's because your soul, that inner self, that higher self, whatever you want to call it, knows deep down that you want to contribute. Tap me some hearts there if you know for a fact that you would love to contribute something meaningful to planet Earth. Tell me if this is true for you. Because I don't know anybody who doesn't want to wake up in the morning, feel purposeful about who they are, about why they're here. And the two most important questions that we can, the two most important days in your life are, the first day is the day that you're born, and the second day, the second most important day is the day that you discover why you're born. And the sad part is too few of us really give ourselves the permission to ask why are we here and what, how we'd love to contribute. So what happens is we get these feelings of being stuck. So there's a client that calls me and says, I'm frustrated, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm stuck, I'm stressed. I get, as a chiropractor, patients come to me, so they get migraines, headaches, and all that. And then my job is to go a little deeper and go, what's going on in your life? When did these start? If you're having any symptoms of food intolerance, PTSD, depression, whatever, you want to ask this question as well, is when did you start feeling this way? And you will notice, if you are being honest, it has to do with some sort of an event that caused you to have resentment. Okay? Give it up for Cairo. Yeah, baby. So anytime you're holding on to some sort of a resentment, I want you to see resentment as mud on your wings. If you're a bird and you're destined to fly and you're here to do something meaningful and contribute to the planet, anytime you're holding on to a resentment towards yourself in a form of guilt, in the form of resentment towards somebody else, I'm sugar. Nice, thank you. Anytime you're holding on to some sort of a resentment towards yourself or somebody else, I want you to look at it as mud on your wings. So ask yourself this question. What do you think about antidepressants? Are they good or bad? Great question. I'm going to answer that right afterwards. This Periscope will answer this question. If you are holding on to some sort of a resentment, then you are going to feel stuck. So if you're feeling stuck in your life, I have yet to have a client or a patient come to me and says, Dr. Nima, I'm feeling stuck. And they didn't have some sort of resentment. I go, so what are you pissed off about? So I want you to ask yourself this question, what is it? And make a list. What is it that I'm angry about? And most of it, why is this important? Because most of the resentment that we feel is buried, because it's so distracting to think, oh my God, I'm so resentful. To hold on to that resentment and rage is so distracting, you can't get any work done, that you bury it in your psyche, and that burial, that repression will cause illness. Tension headaches, yes, tension headaches could be another sign of burying resentment, or it could be that your neck is also out of alignment. So it's important that you do get that checked by your chiropractor. So if you're holding on to that kind of a resentment, and it's rage, you're going to start feeling stuck. That's actually one of the first signs and symptoms. If you allow that to keep going, you're not living your purpose. You're not living what you're here to do, and anything that is not living their purpose is dying. So if you're not living what your purpose is and you're not doing what you're here to do, your mind and your body will create distractions from that rage in the form of depression, in the form of headaches, in the form of digestive disturbances. These are not real illnesses. They're not real illnesses. They're just forms of distraction for the rage and resentment that you feel. That's keeping you stuck. So this is a mind and body healing type of journey that we're all on, and it's all about opening our hearts to being grateful for our past. So here's the first thing I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you some tips to help you get unstuck, and hopefully this works. First thing I'm going to get you to do is to ask yourself this question. Anxiety as well. Yes, anxiety as well is a distraction from the rage. It's a way for you to not have to deal with your anger and resentment. So your body creates anxiety so that you don't do that. We're going to be doing a Periscope on anxiety and panic attacks very soon. So stay tuned for that. So within the next couple days, we're going to do it on anxiety and panic attacks. So the first thing I'm going to get you to do is ask yourself this question. Exactly. Thank you, Amanda. What you're going to do basically is to ask yourself this question. What is it that when I'm doing it, time stands still? So you're going to say, what is it? I don't know. This is the first resistance you're going to feel is, I don't know what. I don't know what makes time stand still. I have no idea. Yes, you do. You know when you're in the flow. You know when hey, sorry about that, Skeggy there. She died there. You had an anxiety attack. I'm sorry about that. But your anxiety attack basically was trying to get you real and authentic and stop telling lies and to be real. So if you're holding on to rage and resentment and you don't listen and follow those little signs and symptoms that you're feeling stuck and get to the bottom of it, you're going to have a panic attack. So I'm here to help you avoid that. So you're going to ask the question, what is it that when I'm doing it, time stands still? For me, I love talking about stress. I love doing chiropractic work. I love teaching and speaking. I love rapping and performing. So if I know that, that's the first thing what you do. You know, spending time with your kids. Is it gardening? Is it playing with your horses? Is it when you're in nature? Is it when you're working with plants? What is that? And so what you're going to do is every time you're not dedicating your life to doing that, isn't this cool? Your mind and body create this feeling of anxiety or procrastination as well as another form of it as a distraction so that it can get you more real and authentic to be doing more of what you love. So the first thing you're going to do, that's the first question in my method, the overview method is, what is it that when you're doing it, time stands still? Can you have resentment without feeling the emotion of resentment or anger? Yes, good question. You can feel that resentment. You can have resentment, but it would be buried. See, if we live with the delusion that we're not supposed to be angry, we're supposed to be happy all the time and positive, when you are feeling anger and resentment, what we're going to do is we're going to bury it. We're going to hide it. We don't want anyone to know. So that's something that you got to look at, and I'll tell you a little bit about how to spot the delusion as well. So the second thing you want to do, first thing you want to know what makes time stand still. The second thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, you want to clear the resentment. Once you know what it is, you now can clear it. It could be your husband. It could be your wife. It could be a former lover that you felt you were wrong. It could be your father that you're still holding on to. I want you to see resentment as resentment is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. Okay, so whether it's a resentment towards yourself or another person, you got to work at clearing that resentment. And I'm going to show you why resentment happens right after. There's a video. Spot the delusion. Yeah, that's the game that I play with my friends. Let's spot the delusion in our anger. Anytime you have anger, it's a delusion. It's an unrealistic expectation you have on yourself or another person. So the first thing, know what makes time stand still. Number two, clear that resentment. I have a tool. How do you let go of the past? Good question. I've created a tool called the Overview Method, and I teach it one-on-one in Skype format or on the phone, and in my seminar, which if you're in the Vancouver area, August 22nd and 23rd, I'm teaching that. Forms of meditation. If you're holding on to resentment, you can sit there and meditate and go, I feel better, or try to distract yourself. I find meditation, I used to do it all the time, and I found it was more of a distraction. Because when you're out of the meditation, your resentment is still there. So why not get to the root cause of the resentment, which is created by a delusion? We're going to talk about that. So the third thing that you do, I do diversified chiropractic, and I mix emotional work into my chiropractic work. Number three that you're going to do is once you've cleared the resentment and you learned how to do that, it's a skill that you can learn. You want to basically take action now. When you clear the resentment, you're feeling stuck, you clear the resentment, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I know exactly who I am and I know exactly what I'm here to do. Your next step will just literally fall in your lap. It's so bizarre how that happens. I did a session on someone and she was working in a coffee shop. She works at Starbucks. She really dreamed of having a fashion design type of thing. Fashion design business. We cleared resentment towards her father through the overview method. All of a sudden, she comes out and then it's like, oh my God, I totally know what I'm here to do. I go, what do you love to do now? She goes, I just got inspired. I just now know I'm going to put this into my work. Or you're going to paint, or you're going to write a blog post, or you're going to do this. I got involved in emotional work because I wanted to deal with my own emotional challenges. And I found the work of Dr. John DeMartini, Byron Katie, and I just was a seminar junkie until I found inefficiencies in all of them, and I found the fastest method to get to gratitude. So that's how I got into the emotional part. Once you've cleared the resentment, you now are able to take action. What's going to happen is your next step, you will know exactly what to do. You know exactly. It's like, oh my God, I know what I'm going to do. You have a new business plan that's created. Oh, I know, I want to now take a new course. I want to go back to school. So one of the gals in my overview experience seminar, she was having extreme amount of resentment, number one, to herself because she didn't know her purpose. She felt stuck. And then after we said, where's the resentment? It was towards her husband. So she's got two kids, pregnant with another one, angry with her husband, was about to get a divorce, comes to the overview experience, clears the resentment, and then after she's done, she's having this profound epiphany, and I'm like, what would you love to do? She goes, I want to be a midwife. So guess what she's now, that was last year, she's now gone back to school to get her high school equivalency, and now she has stress like all of us, but she's no longer stuck. She now knows that every single day has passion and purpose behind it because she's now moving towards the actualization of her dreams in the service of other people. So that's the secret as well. You want to get to the point where you're serving other people. So I hope this was useful. If there's any questions, now would be a good time to ask. Here's what I want you to do. To go to theoverviewmethod.com /stress. Go to theoverviewmethod.com/stress. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a video that's called the 7 deadly sins or 7 delusions that create stress and cause you to get stuck. That is there are 7 delusions. It's August 22nd and 23rd at Westgate Wellness Center, September 19th in Toronto, and October 1st in Montreal. Message me and I'll give you more details about that. So what you want to do basically, overviewmethod.com/stress. Thank you very much. Theoverviewmethod.com/stress. And you're going to get a video of me at the overview experience telling you a 20-minute video about the top 7 deadly sins, the delusions that we have that create stress in our lives, the expectations we have on ourselves and other people. I should be happy and positive all the time. They should see things my way. Like, these are the delusions. There are 7 of them, and once you figure them out, you're like, holy shit, I have these delusions that are creating my resentment that's causing me to be stuck. So if you want to stop being stuck, you have to clear